What's up? I'm Early Earl. I thank y'all for sliding into these YouTube streets and coming down here to the early way. Today we're gonna rewind it back on some of our favorite shows, reality shows, scripted shows, and we're gonna, review them and talk about them. And today we're about to rewind it back and press play in the year of 2006 on a show called Flavor of Love 2 Reunion After the Lovin'. This is like one of the shows that introduced me into like the reality TV world, where I got stuck in and can't get out of for some reason. Well, yeah, this one of the shows. So we're gonna start it off with Flavor of Love 2 Reunion After the Lovin'. We open the show with Lala as the host. She speaks on how Flav wasn't able to find love the first time with Hoops the prior year, so he tried again for a second time with 20 more different ladies. She introduces the ladies to us who were seated in their own little section next to the stage. We got Boots, Tiger, Bucky, Beautiful, Crazy, Buck Wild, Something, H-Town, Spunky, Like That, Toasty, Chocolate, Wire, Hood, Nibbles, Bama, and Safari. Out of the 23 of the ladies didn't come, and I'm like, half of the ones who showed up, they shouldn't have came either because they didn't say a word the whole episode. I don't think Tiger, Spunky, Like That, Toasty, Chocolate, Wire, Hood, or Bama said or did nothing but clap with the audience. Lala tells us that since the show has aired, some of the ladies have been treating themselves like celebrities. They've been in a few magazines, probably magazines like Excel Magazine, Jet Magazine, or like Ebony and Beauty Magazine. Some of them like magazines back in the day was the top magazines that I can think of off the top of my head. She then showed us behind the scene footage of some of the ladies at a photo shoot they had once the show wrapped. And you could tell how they was acting at the photo shoot that they thought they made it big after the show. We got Delicious. She's saying now, she talking about everything seems so real now. It's like it's all a dream. Then we got Crazy, who says like it's really not about the fame. She just light up in front of the cameras and she where she belong. Bucky says yes, Bucky is a celebrity. I'm like, she is. She on what? Love and Hip Hop now. So, and she been on it for years now. So she kind of like a celebrity. And then we got Boots, who was like, the show over now, and anything after that is just exposure for her. And I'm like, that's true. Make it, do what it, try to big yourself up after the show. Don't let the little 15 minutes of fame fade away. She'll make something out of it. Lala get the show started. She bring H-Town and Safari down on the stage. She then asked them about the fight they had and who they think started it, and that do they regret it ever happening. H-Town was like, she embarrassed by it. That's not who she is. She's normally don't act like that, but Safari, on the other hand, she probably act like that on the daily. She said that girl probably act like that on the daily. Lala did ask Safari, do she think Flav reacted harshly by sending her home? She was like, yeah, both her and H-Town should have left at the same time. Like, what's she supposed to do after getting hit in the face with some flowers? She don't care if it's Q-tips or cotton balls you hit her, it's going down. And I'm like, I agree with her. Bitch, if a piece of lint hit me and we unbeefing, it's going down. So I agree with everything she said. And since Flav said he doesn't want a violent girl, Safari talking about she took what he said in consideration and started anger management classes. and it's because of that and the certificate that she got from anger management that she able to sit next to H-Town and not whoop on her. I'm like, this girl is a fool. We're going to see how far that anger management certificate get her by the end of this show. That's Safari a mess. Once H-Town and Safari was over, Lala tells us that the show was one of VH1 highest rated shows at that time, and everybody watched, including season 1 Goldie. Goldie comes out on the stage. She tell Lala she watched the season like everybody else, but she liked all the ladies and only have a question for about 2 of them. She then turns to the girls and asks Crazy, why would you ever think New York was your friend? She was on the first season with New York and it was cool, but she never thought New York was her friend. Crazy talking about she just tries to see the good in everybody. Goldie told her she would have been better off talking to Jesus. And She would have been better off talking to Jesus. She then told something that she doesn't need to feel bad about what happened because everybody done had, a bad experience where they can't get to the bathroom in time. Something was like, shit happens. And God was like, true, shit does happen. But make sure you have something on your ass the next time. Don't let that shit hit the floor. I don't think, even though it gave me a little key, but I don't think Goldie was needed. Her segment could have been used for somebody else. She took up space, in my opinion. She shouldn't have been there, After that, Lala brings out Flav. The number one hype man he was at the time. Flav is so goddamn ugly. And I don't see... I'm going to be quiet. Flav sit down and, he announces he got an album dropping that Halloween. And he brought a sneak peek for everybody to hear. Here we go. Flavor, man. Flavor. And I'm like... trash. Garbage. Take it back. Flav, go back in the studio and redo it. After, he gave us to listen to his song, Lala brings Buck Wow out on the stage with Flav. But Wow asked Flav why he cussed her out the night she left the show when she got on stage and sat down. Flav said he didn't cuss her out. He just wanted to know where the fuck her black scent went after New York came in the house. Like she got scared of New York or something. But Wow said she was pissed at the time. She then asked Flav, do he remember when Delicious got mad on the show and that her voice changed too? He said, yeah, it did, and that he understands her, but Delicious' demeanor changed, yet her accent stayed the same. And But Wow then, But Wow said, she's as real as they come, and she's But Wow, and that's who the she gonna be. She then head back to her seat. And I'm like, she could have went home. There was no need for Buck Wild to come on that stage and act how she acted. She had on a graphic tank top with blue denim jeans. She had on some heels, and then she had on a hat. I'm like, what the hell is going on? This Buck Wild want to be black so bad. And I always thought, even back then, I was like, this want to be black B need to sit down somewhere. I didn't like Buck Wild. And I'm glad Flav called her out like, bitch, where your accent went? Now you want to talk like a scared little white girl? You want to just talking like that? Crazy then comes on the stage with Flav. And Lala gets straight to it and asks her, did the show help her singing career? Crazy like the show helped everyone, not just her. Some of the girls are modeling, some are doing porn. And when she says some are doing porn, the cameraman pans over the nipples. So that let us know who that was. Beautiful sitting with the girls cut her off and was like, well, did the show help your singing career since that's the reason you came on the show? And Crazy was like, shit, I'm 23 years old and I ain't got nothing to lose. So yeah, beautiful ass said, I didn't ask you how old you was. Did the show help your singing career? And Crazy was like, yeah. And I'm like, no, it didn't. It didn't help it at all because I don't even hear buzz about Crazy unless I'm not looking hard enough. And I guess I'm not looking hard enough for Crazy. They then gave Crazy the mic and let her sing. And she was like, oh boy, when I think I'm crazy, when I think about you, love me, drive me crazy. I would say the song was alright, but she didn't give me like singer though. She did. Quit letting auto-tune, little backup singers, she'll be another J-Lo. Crazy leaves the stage and then, Delicious comes out and joins Flav. She been in the back this entire time. They ain't seen each other in 4 months because, back then they didn't want nothing to be spoiled, so they kept them apart. Like today, let some shit happen. You gonna find out once the show ends who won the show and shit like that because the internet is wild. Delicious comes out and put her lips on nasty Flav, and I was like, yuck. Girl, what is you doing? That's what I was saying. What is she doing? Flav say they have a real connection that everyone should see how people look at him when he out at the airport, out in the streets. Everybody be looking at him like, you did that. You did that. He said everybody wanted him to pick Delicious, and he glad he did, and said that Delicious is banging. And Delicious over there sitting next to him just smiling, cheesing real hard, dimples showing. And I'm like, ooh, that's all I'm thinking. Ooh. She said she's surprised she got picked. She thought Flav was going to choose New York for TV for some reason. But, you know, at the end, he real recognized real. He real, she real. So, you know, who else he was going to choose was somebody real. So he chose her. And back then, I was one of the people happy that he chose Delicious. I didn't want New York to win. I low-key didn't like New York back then. Yeah. I was on the people's side that was against New York. I thought New York was... Well, after rewatching this, now, New York is the key. Delicious head over and sit with the other ladies while Flav head to the back. Lala then introduces New York. While they're showing footage of New York time on the show, mainly they showing her confessionals of her talking about everyone. Them girls over there sitting mad. They got units all over their face, mad, fuming. New York's had them hoes hot. New York had them hoes hot. Lala then brings New York out. She comes out and she's walking towards Lala's center stage, but while end up taking off her heel and threw it at New York, almost hitting her, but it grazed her hair. New York calls but while a hating ass bitch, all fraudulent and shit, and told her she lucky that she didn't hit her. And don't forget that you left the house because of her. But while hopping on the couch yelling at New York to step to her because it's time to get buck wild. And I'm like, but wow. It was time to get buck wild when New York got her clock in the house and you ran scared out of the house. That was time to get buck wild. So why you doing all this? Nah. That I can tell you, I never liked the buck wild. And still don't after watching it because I wish New York would have picked that shoe up and threw it right back at her ass, to be honest. Safari ended up taking off her shoe and throws it at New York, but she misses. And I'm like, you just got a certificate. You just bragged about your certificate for anger management. Why the hell are you jumping in? That anger management ain't get her nowhere. Not a goddamn nowhere. All the girls mad. You see Delicious switching her shoes out. She's changing out her heels and putting on titty shoes, while New York others just twirling on stage, making them hoes even madder. And I'm like, yeah, New York do that shit. But then I was like, ooh, they need to get New York ass acting a fucking fool on that stage. But now after rewatch, I'm like, yeah, New York made their ass even mad. Make their ass even mad. Lala calls out Buck Wild saying that, you know, she's been nothing but nice to everybody, but don't be throwing things on stage almost hitting her because shit, it's going to be a real problem then. Let that shit would have hit her, Lala probably would have. All I'm saying, Lala check shit real quick, but we're talking about she got good aim, it don't matter. You throwing shit my way, it's a problem. And I was feeling Lala on that one. Back then I was like, she need to shit her ass down jumping that shit. But now I was like, yeah. They did, New York and Lala did take a seat on the couch and they began talking. Lala told her that, you know, she know you got a lot to say, but to make it peaceful, she gonna let everyone get a chance to speak. That's what she telling New York. She gonna let everybody speak. And I'm like, why you gonna let everybody speak before New York? She come on stage and get a shoe thrown at her. She can't even talk back. So you gonna choose the people in the audience to speak before she do? That's crazy. Lala then calls on Boots. New York talking about New York talking about, look at her all agitated, but let her talk. And Boots is like, bitch, I am agitated, and I wish you lay a finger on me. And when did you back me to a wall? Because I want to see you do it. And she stood up to her feet. New York talking about, well, pick a wall. Which one you want to get backed into? Into Boots. Boots ended up calling New York a punk ass bitch after New York told her to pick a wall to get backed into. New York talking about, yes, she is, and she's fucking fabulous. She stood up and started twirling in her dress on stage, y'all. New York was trolling this whole reunion. Boots told her that in the house, she said that, you just Flav's friend. Flav ain't gonna choose you. He just gonna fuck you because he left your ass twice already. So I don't think you're finna get chose. New York talking about, yes, he did, and it was beautiful and wonderful. And I was like, I know she ain't talking about fucking Flav was beautiful and wonderful. In a dark, dark room, and she didn't know it was Flav, maybe, but beautiful and wonderful, I can never imagine. She then asked Boots, was that really her name? Because she didn't really matter. She didn't really remember Boots. She had Boots ass hot. Lala asked Delicious if she have anything to say. If she saw that she had switched her shoes, before everything went down. Delicious talking about she got nothing to say to New York. It's things more so she want to do to her. And I'm like, what? Now, what you want to do, New York? Between her and New York, I know she probably beat New York ass down. Delicious says that New York is a whole act, and she bring herself down with no help. She got a whack ass wig, bad ass conversation, and a whack ass that didn't keep her on the show a second time. And New York the whole time talking about speak on it, while Delicious going in. And I'm like clutching my pearls. Delicious talking her shit, and she can fight. I know it. And New York just bow out gracefully. Delicious then get up and start moving towards New York, but the security stopped her, and she talking about, I just want to talk to her. I don't want to touch her. And I'm like, Delicious, you just told Lala that you have nothing to say to New York. You just want to put your hands on her, basically. But you up here telling security that you just want to talk to her and not touch her. Come on now. Bucky get her ass up and tried to go at New York. And I'm like, Bucky, this whole time you ain't said shit but ooh, and clapping with the audience. You ain't said two words other than the little screen footage that they showed you with everybody at the photo shoot. Other than that, you didn't say nothing this whole reunion. You could have just sat in the background like you been doing. Boots get up and try to run towards New York, but she gets stopped by security. Safari with her certificate, anger management having ass, get her ass up and start walking up towards New York, but she gets stopped. New York just sitting on stage talking about nobody better not touch her. That's all she know. Nobody better not touch her. You feel me? That's why she's sitting on stage just looking at everybody act crazy trying to get her. They was trying. At this time, after seeing everything in New York, after a while, she get mad and she stand up and start screaming. She know nobody better not touch her. She know nobody better not touch her. And this, security start getting around her, and she pushes security, from her, talking about, nobody better not touch me. Nobody better not touch me. They end up, pulling her backstage. While they pulling her backstage, Boots, somehow she get loose and start running backstage to New York. And all you can hear is New York say, come on, bitch, bring that shit. And you can see like a little hands swinging. Back then, I wanted Boots to whoop New York ass. Back then, I wanted Boots to whoop New York ass. I remember researching who won the fight between Boots and New York, and it said that I think New York had won. And I was like, I was hurt. I didn't want to believe that. I said, this people right here just making up shit. These people just making up shit. You feel me? I meant to say, while everybody was trying to go to New York, Buck Wild was too. And I'm like, Buck Wild, when New York said your ass looked like the fairy princess that resides over the pits of hell, you should have beat her ass then. You had plenty of chances and reasons to hop on New York, but you waited this chance. Sit your ass down. Lala get things to calm down. Everybody, chill. But they had to ask Boots, Bucky, Buck Wild, and Delicious to lead the stage. Because they left New York up there. New York talking about they all animals and haters and they deserve to leave. You know, she ain't got time for their ass. They bring Flav out, you know, along with New York. You know, and he talking about he loved New York and, you know, they'll always be friends or whatever. And I'm like, I guess. After cooling off, Delicious comes back and, you know, she sit with the girls off to the side of the stage and she apologized to New York. And talking about it was the heat of the moment and things had got carried away. And I'm like, okay. Okay, things got carried away because of. Okay, we're gonna let it pass. She apologized, so we're gonna leave it at that. New York said, you know, she wished they had the opportunity to really chop it up, and you know, says that Delicious looked great, which she did. Delicious did look good. You know, Lala asked Flav why he didn't choose New York, because everybody really thought that's what he chose. She done brought this girl back a second time and still played in her face. Why you didn't choose her? He talking about because they have different outlooks on relationships. He has to be in control. He wears the pants, and he say New York wanted to wear the pants too, and that couldn't happen. And she too much like her mama. You feel me? And then they end up, you know, bringing the mama on the screen, and Flav and New York's mama, Sister Patterson, end up having a back and forth. And I ain't like that. I felt like he was very disrespectful, even though she's a disrespectful. No, let me cut that out. They the same age. Shit. I was trying to say respect it now. They the same age. Flav, you can do whatever you want to do with Sister Patterson. She talking about you old and got gray hair. Shit, y'all both the same. Y'all both old. You know, at the end of the reunion, they end up letting us know that New York has her own show coming out, which is I Love New York. And that's it, y'all. Flavor of Love Season 2 reunion after the 11. I really enjoyed watching this again. It gave me real throwback vibes and memories of the year of 2006. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm Early Earl. I do thank y'all for tuning in with me. Until next time.